Given the way those first couple of years have gone on the WNBA, Caitlin may be glad to be playing a non-contact sport here.
If you ever needed proof that the WNBA has completely fumbled Caitlin Clark, the LPGA just served it up on a silver platter. Caitlin showed up to the Annika Pro-Am, and what she got wasn't just applause, it was a breath of fresh air. The entire ecosystem, players, organizers, commentators, even the fans lining the fairways, delivered some of the most overwhelmingly positive Caitlin Clark coverage you'll ever see. No drama, no hostility, no weirdness, just respect, excitement, and appreciation. And here's the crazy part. This shouldn't be considered special treatment. This is exactly how the WNBA should be treating the generational star who is responsible for more than half of the league's viewership and a massive chunk of its revenue spikes. But you don't have to take my word for it. Watch the clips. The contrast is brutal and honestly embarrassing for the WNBA. And I've also got some new developments at the end of this video that you'll love if you're a Caitlin Clark fan. But first, let's set the stage. Caitlin was back at the Annika Pro-Am for the second straight year, and golf legend Annika Sorenstam was understandably excited about it.
Caitlin Clark playing in your Pro-Am for the second year in a row. What is the value of her presence in your tournament?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. Yes, Damon, you're right. I mean, she had so much to the tournament. I really didn't know what to expect last year. I mean, obviously, she's talk of the town and you know, such a superstar in a lot of ways. And, you know, she added just, you know, so much, you know, excitement to the tournament. We had a lot of people come out. They were standing on the first tee at 7 a.m. waiting for her to see that, you know, the first shot. But just her engagement with the fan and just, you know, being so relatable. And I don't know, she loves the game of golf, and so glad that she wanted to come back because, you know, it brings more people to the game, brings more people to the tournament, and that's really what we're looking for.
Annika's not kidding when she talks about Caitlin bringing more people out to the course. If anything, she's being humble. Last year, ticket sales didn't just rise, they exploded. Up 13 times from the year before. That isn't a bump, that's a shockwave. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There were 395 television segments that mentioned Caitlin Clark and the Annika, an unbelievable crossover moment for an LPGA event. And on the Pro-Am day alone, X absolutely erupted. Nearly 2,700 posts specifically talked about Caitlin playing, generating over 18 million impressions in a single day. It didn't stop there. The tournament's Instagram views skyrocketed by 591% compared to the previous year. Website traffic surged 121%. Every metric, tickets, TV, engagement, social buzz, went straight into orbit the moment Caitlin arrived. And here's the thing. Any rational person can see this is amazing for the game of golf. Annika knows it. She embraces it. She understands exactly what a superstar like Caitlin Clark can do for an entire sport.
We just didn't really know what to expect last year, and I think the response was very positive. So now we're trying to make sure that everybody gets a piece of it, but also that she can enjoy it and feel like she's having a good time. But it's just opening up to more people to see her and get a chance to get her autographs. We have so many young girls out there on that Wednesday just wanting to sign, you know, an autograph, whether they brought a, you know, basketball or a hat or something. It was just nice to see a new demographic enter the golf course.
Notice how Annika talks about Caitlin bringing in a new demographic to the sport. Fans who wouldn't normally show up to a women's Pro-Am, fans who aren't traditional golf watchers, fans who are suddenly invested because Caitlin is involved. And notice what she didn't say. She didn't try to make it about herself. She didn't say, well, the fans are here to watch me too. No ego, no insecurity, just a clear recognition of reality. It's almost like Annika understands something the WNBA still can't seem to wrap its head around. Caitlin grows the game, and when she grows the game, everybody benefits. Now here's the cool part. This year, Caitlin didn't just show up alone. She brought Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull as her caddies, rocking fever-inspired caddy bibs. This is textbook fan base expansion. Sure, the crowd is there for Caitlin, that's obvious. But now those same fans get introduced to Sophie and Lexi, get to interact with them, and suddenly, they're following 3 fever players instead of 1. This isn't rocket science. Support Caitlin, and Caitlin's fans will support you. Now let's shift to the tournament itself. Caitlin did her part this year, not smoking anyone in the crowd and dropping some genuinely solid putts, including this beauty right here. Fans were literally lined up and waiting for her at the tee, something LPGA players are not used to seeing at a Pro-Am. But did the players complain? Nope. They understood exactly what was happening. Caitlin was bringing new energy, new attention, and new fans to their sport.
Two of the biggest sports stars in the world, yourself and Caitlin Clark. Describe this atmosphere.
It's crazy. I mean, that first tee was something out of a book almost. But it's so fun. It's cool to see how many people she brings together to another sport, and it's fun to hang out with her. She's super cool. You know, we saw each other actually last week at an outing, yeah, I mean, it's nice to be alongside greats. I mean, even her teammates are super fun, so it's been a blast so far.
That's Nelly Korda, the 2024 LPGA Player of the Year, one of the best female golfers on the planet, a superstar in her sport. She could easily be jealous. She could look at the crowd and think, why are they here for Caitlin and not me? She could treat it like competition, but she didn't. She was grateful. She was amazed. She understood that more fans, more cameras, more excitement helps everyone in the LPGA. It's such a simple concept. And just for fun, let's compare Nelly's reaction to the reactions we've seen from certain WNBA players when Caitlin brings more fans to their arenas. Where Nelly's response celebrates the growth, this WNBA player resents it.
The Mystics generally play at Care First Arena, which only holds 4,200 people, so it kind of makes sense that they would move it. But after the game, in the post-game presser, Shakira Austin made her feelings known when she told the press, "I'm hoping we can get some real support from our own fans and what we have building up. We had MVP chants for Asia a couple of games ago, which I understand, which is weird that she understands that, but okay. But it's like, we're in DC, so support us. So I'm hoping Baltimore can be an arena where we consistently play in to get those fans. But if they're not gonna cheer for us, then I don't wanna play here." She also said, if fans were here to support us and it felt like a home game, I wouldn't mind coming out here to Baltimore, basically. But if they're gonna be wishy-washy, then keep it in DC.
It's a night and day mindset. The LPGA says, thank you for being here. This helps all of us. But parts of the WNBA say, you're only welcome if you're cheering for me. And that's why the contrast hits so hard. Because all throughout this event, it felt like the entire golf ecosystem just got it. Players, organizers, broadcasters, they didn't just tolerate Caitlin's impact, they embraced it. They weren't threatened by her presence. They were excited by it, and perhaps it's because they've experienced a Caitlin Clark-like effect before.
You've covered a lot of sports. Have you seen anything that you would equate this Caitlin Clark phenomenon with, either in men's sports or in women's sports previously? Someone who just has this kind of rising tide that's lifting a lot of boats around her.
Yeah, I mean, I think I touched on it briefly earlier. I mean, I think it truly is, and I'm not just saying this because we're on the Golf Channel. It truly is Tiger Woods, because I'm old enough now that I was young when Tiger was just starting and got to see what a cultural shift it was. As I said earlier, it started as just golf fans, right? And then he started to win tournaments, and it became, okay, just sports fans were tuning in. And then at a certain point, it just got to be, it is a Sunday and Tiger Woods is playing golf and the world is stopping because we all have to watch what might happen.
Caitlin Clark is the Tiger Woods of women's basketball. It's the perfect analogy. Tiger brought millions of new fans into golf. People who wouldn't have watched a tournament suddenly rearranged their Sundays to see him play. Caitlin is doing the exact same thing. Sports fans who would normally ignore the WNBA, sports fans who wouldn't go to a game if the beers were free, are now actively seeking out Caitlin Clark games, buying tickets, watching nationally televised broadcasts, and we know this isn't speculation. We've already seen the proof. When Caitlin's playing, ratings skyrocket to record levels. When she doesn't, they collapse by more than 50%, almost instantly.
I do have so many people coming up to me who have never cared about any sport, let alone basketball before, who are watching the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark, because she is that phenomenon.
For some reason, it's totally acceptable to say all of this on a golf broadcast, but the moment you switch over to ESPN, everything gets distorted. They'll work overtime to make it seem like the WNBA is growing independent of Caitlin, using 2025 numbers and comparing them to 2023, while completely skipping 2024, the year Caitlin broke every record. It's selective. It's misleading. And fans aren't stupid. Meanwhile, the LPGA wasn't dodging anything. They embraced Caitlin's impact and made it a central part of the event's identity. Just look at these cinematic edits. It's almost as if they understand that Caitlin Clark is good for business. What a wild concept, right? This entire event, and the way the LPGA highlighted Caitlin from start to finish, should be embarrassing for the WNBA. No one's saying the W needs to roll out a red carpet or build her a statue, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with acknowledging the player who's driving their audience, their ratings, and most of their momentum. Now, before we wrap, here are a couple quick developments from the tournament that Caitlin Clark fans are going to love. First, Caitlin gave a brief update on her health.
A tough year in terms of injury for you. Does that mean you've played a little bit more golf this year?
Unfortunately, it means I've played less, just because I haven't been able to get out there with some of the injuries that I was dealing with, but now I'm feeling back to 100%.
There you have it. She's 100%. No setbacks, no lingering issues. She's good to go for Team USA in the spring and then right into the WNBA season, whenever the league finally decides to start it. And for Caitlin Clark fans, there's another encouraging detail. When the 2026 season arrives, there's still a real chance she could be playing alongside Sophie Cunningham again. Sophie, who just a week ago said she could end up anywhere, has already softened that stance. She's now openly saying she hopes to return to the Fever. A complete 180, and something I'm sure Caitlin is happy about given Sophie's willingness to step up and defend her on and off the court.
I think she just elevates everyone who's around her. She's a phenomenal player, generational player, and I think everyone sees that. We missed her out on the court this year, but, depending on the CBA and what's going on, hopefully we're all together again. But I think the thing about Caitlin Sheehan is she's just a great person. She's fun, she's silly, kind of still just a kid, and so a lot of people see her in a serious light, but we kind of get to see the goofy side of her.
So yeah, all great news. And it was refreshing to see Caitlin get treated like the star she is. But at the same time, this didn't give me hope the WNBA will change its ways. Let me know your thoughts, and if you're still here, drop a W in the comments because you're a winner for sticking around. Thanks for watching.